All right. My name is Morgan Spoonemore, and my group this semester, we talked about the effectiveness of the influenza vaccine. Um, we wanted to know the participants' opinions about it, their reliability, and their confidence in the vaccine. And so, in the summary, um, kind of summary of our research project was that we wanted to gather information about what they believed would cause the flu and if the vaccine caused it. I also wanted to know if they knew the symptoms of the flu, and also their likelihood of that they thought adults were to get vaccinated. And so we had two different groups that we looked at. They were under the age of 30 and over the age of 30. And our survey was sent out to 300 individuals, and we had 30 responses. And then within that bit of data, we had 20 female respondents and 10 male respondents. And 21 of them were under the age of 30, and 9 of them were over the age of 30. And of course, these were all enrolled in college level courses. So some of the results that we found were 20 of our 30 respondents believed that the cost of the flu vaccine was not a contributing factor on whether or not they received the vaccine. 53% of the participants believed that less than 25% of adults were diagnosed with influenza after being vaccinated. One respondent believed that over 50% of adults were diagnosed with the flu after receiving the vaccination. 43% of our participants who are under 30 believe that an individual contracted the flu from receiving the flu vaccine, while 57 did not believe that. And then on the opposite end of that, 67% of participants who are over 30 believed that an individual contracted the flu from receiving it. So you see the age difference there. The under 30, there was less that believed that they could get it than the older. 66% of participants believe that less than 50% of adults received the vaccine. And said 40% of respondents believe that the average adult was somewhat unlikely to receive the vaccine, compared to 33% that believe adults would be somewhat likely to receive the vaccine. And I think that would be more based off the opinions of the effectiveness that it was this season. It also, we did see that the knowledge of the flu symptoms were tested, and you can also see that on the side here with the results, where they think their knowledge of the flu symptoms came from, their flu knowledge. And we did find that not one of our participants were able to correctly choose all of the correct symptoms for the flu. They did get several of the symptoms correct, but not one got all of them. So I think there's a misconception and there's a lack of knowledge and education that isn't there for that. So our method was, we had the survey with the participants, opinion-based questions. There were 16 questions that were sent out to the 300 emails that I said, 30 responses, and there was also a test done to determine participants' source of knowledge, and that's what you see on the side with the results. Research questions, BYUI students. Are BYUI students over 30 years old more likely to have the seasonal influenza vaccination than those younger than 30 years old? What is the rate of confidence of BYUI students in the efficacy of the seasonal influenza vaccine to prevent infection of influenza? What might be contributing to this confidence, and what other factors might prevent desire to receive vaccination? And do BYUI students have a clear understanding of influenza symptoms and the risks of contracting seasonal influenza? What might have influenced the students' understanding, and how have media, family research, and experiences have contributed to that understanding? And the conclusion with our research, we did find that the knowledge and opinions of the two groups were different. There was a lack of knowledge about the symptoms, the flu symptoms, There needs to be more education about the influenza vaccine, about its effectiveness and how that you don't contract influenza from the vaccine. And then, this was a small sample, so we do believe that more extensive study should be done in order to make conclusions about, about an adult's understanding of the effectiveness. But um, more research would always help. But and that is our project.